takeaways from the Superstar Retreat last year. And as a good reminder for people to close out the second half of the year. So we're going to go through that, and we'll start that in 5 minutes.
All right. Good job. Thank you, guys, everyone. Good work. Don't forget tomorrow, 8:30 role play in the morning, same channel, same place. And then tomorrow is a ultimate prospecting day, all day prospecting, lots of opportunities. I think we have 6 opportunities or 10 opportunities, Robert, for open mic. And let me tell you, open mic, for those of you that have not done it, you're missing a giant opportunity to ramp up what you're doing. So let's get going here. You know, we have agents that don't even work in the company, the superstars that don't even work in the company that show up for open mic because they see the value. And others of you don't show up. I think there's a message there. I think it's just think.
So Neil, we had Mike this morning and today. What were your biggest takeaways?
Well, in preparing for this was the big thing was the reminder that over 44, 45 years that he started with just a belief. He didn't even have proof. He had a belief. He did some of the work himself, but it was his work. And he felt like he could communicate it at a high enough level to help people. Think about this. Think about the movement that he's created nationally on doing deals in real estate at a really high volume. He is the author of that. He is the originator of that stuff. There's a lot of people doing lots of different things, but I got to tell you, when you look at, what do we have, 27, 28 people in our, that we've interviewed, all of them are making $1 million+ a year currently. I don't know. Are there other systems that do that? Robert, can you think of? I don't think so.
No.
I should have asked him that question. I have to ask him, who else has that many people currently making $1 million+ a year selling houses? Joe, any thoughts on that, Giuseppe?
Sorry, I was muted.
So,
not really. I mean, I haven't heard of anybody doing that kind of number.
A large group of people doing those kind of numbers over time.
No.
Linda Holmes, do you think of anyone?
Not that I know of.
No, you know what? I have to call and tell him this. This is huge. This is huge. By the way, I'm going to tell you a secret. I've told him, but I don't tell a lot of people. And this just happens to be how life works out. And if you do this, it'll be very, very interesting life for you. I asked Mike once, why does he, this goes back where we originally invited him to our events. You know, we would have a Christmas party. I would invite him. Sometimes he'd come, sometimes he wouldn't. I'd invite him to lunch at the events. I would invite him, and sometimes he'd come and sometimes he wouldn't. And this is the point I want to make. You have to keep asking, because years later, when Mike and I are sitting in a hotel, having a wonderful dinner with his wife and my wife, I asked him, I says, how did we connect up? How do we do this? I said, you must have invitations all the time from people to go to lunch and go to dinner and to do things and go to their Christmas parties. He said, nobody asked me except you, Neil. Interesting, huh? Nobody asked except me. Mike, you want to go to lunch? No, can't go. Great, no problem. Mike, you want to go to dinner? Yeah, go on, let's go. You got time for this? You got time for this? That's where this came from, ladies and gentlemen. That's where this came from. I want to say the same thing to you. It's called prospecting. All right. I wanted to spend time with a smart person. I wanted to spend time with somebody that could help me grow. Look what I ended up with. I ended up with the equivalent of, it could be Anthony Robbins, Earl Nightingale, Mike Vance, and I got him on speed dial. Pretty cool. No? Yes? So can you. You
Absolutely.
have to ask. You get it? I didn't do anything special. It wasn't because I paid him to do this. I happened to be a customer, but I asked him, as all of you could ask, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? That's the biggest lesson I can give you today. Okay? Ask people. Sometimes they'll say no. Sometimes they may say yes. You guys with me on this? Okay. Okay. And then the other thing I learned was that prospecting gets added. So it's not just prospect, present, and close. It's now prospect, present, close, and pre-qualify, however that fits in there. All right, everybody? Good stuff. Robert, you take it away, buddy. I appreciate you and all the things you guys are doing here. Really, really awesome. Do you know that we had over 100 people for this morning and over 100 people for this afternoon? And the only time we've ever had that was when we had Steve Powers a month or two ago. Okay. So this is pretty good. Good job, you guys. I hope you got a lot out of it. We did record it, so we'll post it in our spot here soon, and we'll go from there. Questions for me?